I'm back with another guest that I'm very excited to host and ask questions because I've been getting these questions for a long time now. But I just thought it was the time to invite someone who's able to answer those questions and maybe someone who you can relate to as well. So we invite Sammy over here, and I would let him introduce himself as well.
Hi, Mr. Thanks, Tahseen. Thank you so much, first of all, for inviting me. Now, I'm really excited to speak on those topics that I'm sure the audience is going to get a lot more value. So, a quick
Right.
introduction about me. My name is Sami Akhtar. I started this Amazon journey in the year 2017 as a seller myself. I'm the founder of a full service marketing agency based only for Amazon, Regrow Media. We are handling like 60 plus clients right now over the globe with a team size of almost 35 plus. That is what we are doing. We're eating and hearing about Amazon.
Right. Okay. So I would love to know a bit of a story on the 2017 thing. So how did you get into Amazon? That's the first question that I ask normally all the guests that we have over here.
Yeah, so I was in the second year of my college. I was doing engineering, and some tragic moment happened in my life. Like my father passed away, so I had to start a business. My family background wasn't that sufficient to handle themselves, so I had to start a business. And seems like 2017 was the hot time for Amazon FBA. So I got into that. I got few courses. Now back then there were very few courses, okay, and not that in depth. They will just tell you about what it is, how to find normal products, about profits, profit margins, and all, but not in depth. I took that, kind of learned the hard way, doing all the mistakes myself, and then I successfully scaled the business to doing 600,000 a year. And I exited that brand. Right now, we are also on the way to launch our another brand with the name of The Ugly Coffee. Yesterday, I
Oh.
was with the Norm as well, Norm Farrar, in the Lunch
Mm-hmm.
with Norm podcast, and we discussed the marketing strategy of that brand as well. So that is what we are doing right now. And right now, I'm completely focused on our agency to grow it, to help Amazon sellers understand data and scale their revenue as well.
Right. A question that my team is gonna ask me to ask you: which engineering did you do?
Sorry? Yeah.
Which engineering?
Yeah, I did mechanical engineering.
All right, electrical one over here. Okay, so yeah, that is something that For example, I had a podcast with Vincenzo. Last, it was recorded last week. I think it'll go live hopefully next one. And he was an engineer as well, and so we had a bit of a chit chat about that, right? Okay, so now that we understand how you got into the Amazon business, could you tell me a bit about your agency? What services do you guys provide right now?
Yeah, so we are a full service Amazon agency. We started with only ads management. Now we offer complete account management. Mainly, a lot of brand wants to expand to other marketplaces. Maybe they are selling in India. They are a good established brand. They want to go on global basis on .com, .co.uk. All those marketplaces which are
Right.
really doing well right now. And slowly after that we moved on to the complete account management, then providing product videos. We have a complete team for doing product videos, product creatives, images, a plus content, those all those kinds of things.
Right. Just to ask something that I want to know myself would be that why did you guys expand into different verticals instead of just going, let's say, hey, we just do this and we'll just go all in on that? What was the decision making thought
Yeah,
process?
so generally speaking, when we talk to our clients, we generally do a weekly reporting. And what we have seen is during the reporting, the client generally asks that, okay, you are well aware about our situation, about our account, about the conversion rate, and you are also suggesting us the changes on images. Why don't you do it? Because I'm sure that you can do it because you're already giving us insights on how to do it. So
Right.
that give us a light on, okay, yes, if we go and tell them that do this, then it can be quite hard for them to justify based on the conversion rate and all. So that just started,
Right.
and then we started the videos, images, all those.
Right. So I'm sure we can work with you guys on that. We don't have video right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, we
Okay.
have we have a team that can handle some. Basically, it was very similar for us as well in terms
Mhm.
of saying, hey, hey, we don't have a good CTR, we don't have a good CVR. You're not able to convince the customer to purchase this, and this is what it's gonna need. So we basically had audit reports at that time on saying,
Mhm.
hey, This is what your ASIN is. This is what the market is selling, and this is why you're not selling that much. Maybe it could just be the price, but a lot of
Yeah,
times graphics sell things. So
exactly.
that it was very similar for us as well. We only offer it to some sellers that we have who have the
Mhm.
budget to invest in the photography and stuff. So yeah, that's one way of seeing it. Okay, so let's just get to the topic that we started to have. You
Yep.
already expanded on the topic in terms of, hey, how can we launch in different marketplaces and how big of an opportunity is that?
Yeah, I mean, it is a really big opportunity, especially because if you are a seller in .com only, I'm sure you're already dominating the market because uh, if you're thinking of expanding, that suggests that you're already dominating a niche and you want to scale. Now, there are a lot of opportunities when in terms of scaling because I'm sure all the sellers knows that how important reviews are, right?
Right.
In order to get the customer the trust on your product and get them to buy. And we all know if we are forcing a customer to buy a product, obviously our CPC is going to be high. That is
Right.
why the ads don't work. So in this case, what we have seen is let me give you an example. There is one client that we have. They are doing close to $3 million, $3 million in USA. They also
Mm-hmm.
sell in Canada and UK as well, but very less in numbers because
Right.
they haven't fully gone to those marketplaces. The main challenge that we have faced were that they want to start on .com and from India. Okay, they were Indian sellers, but they were not selling in India. They wanted to go only global. So they are
Right.
doing close to $3 million right now. And what main benefit that we are getting is if let's assume we have a good listing in .com, okay,
Right.
which have thousands of reviews, and
Mm-hmm.
they are dominating the market there. You can list on the same listing on UK and you'll get those reviews and those reviews will also show up under if you just scroll down to the reviews it also shows reviews from other countries and those reviews also counts there. Now
Right.
sometimes the honeymoon period may not be there, but when you have that much reviews, do you really need honeymoon period? That is a question, right? So
Right.
I
Okay.
think that is the main
That
point
is the
where you
main
can
thing.
expand. Yeah.
So just to, so we understand that reviews are the main thing. They are always the main thing. When you launch, you have to get to the 100 reviews at least as soon as possible, right? So how does the launch process change while we already have the reviews? Does it change in anything in terms of launches?
Yeah, it's same as our relaunch. Okay, let's assume were out of stock on a product for a few days. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and we started the ads. The ads are not performing as if we have seen on the last before it went out
Right.
of stock. In those cases, we may need to add some extra traffic sources, may need to go deep dive into some Google ads. Now, if I give you a quick suggestion about Google ads, how we do it, we create, let's assume we have identified, because the products are running for a long time, right? We already know
Right.
that these are the top keywords. So we take those keywords, we put them in single campaigns, then we add Pixel Me on the middle so that we can track
Mm-hmm.
everything. Then we
Right.
add the Amazon referral bonus URL so that we can
Right.
get the brand referral bonus as well. And we
Referral
can also
bonus.
see how much sales we're getting. So that for each campaign, when you do that, we can check that, okay, this keyword is bringing the sale because we know this
Right.
campaign has only one keyword. That way you can just take top 15, 20 keywords and start the
Mm-hmm.
ranking process. At the same time, go a little bit aggressive with exact match and phrase match. Now, we don't like to use broad match that much. We like to use exact match if it is, let's assume, a long tail keyword, and phrase match if it is a short tail keyword, trying to
Right.
identify more long tail version of that.
Right.
That is a quick overview of the launch.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we understand the launch, but understanding that Canadian is and UK market is possible with while you have English as the main language. But what if we want to expand further? Let's say in Germany. Germany seems the second biggest market for Amazon, right? So let's say we want to expand to Germany, then you have a lot of other countries in the European Union that opens up for you. Do you need to speak the language? And what issues do you need to cater before you launch in that market?
Generally, you don't need to speak the language either, because if you see in .com, we get the option where it helps you to choose what language you want to see the listing on. Okay,
Right.
and that is not yet on Germany. What I think most probably.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we cannot select it from the top. So what happened is there is no such expectancy that okay you have to know the language, because after all if English is working there, or let's assume you are selling in Germany,
Mm-hmm.
So the listing can change itself, but the main problem comes when the listing, if you check that it is not structured properly, the sentences or the words, what
Right.
happens is .com right now. If you just change it to, let's say, in Spanish, you will see
Mm-hmm.
some of the bullet points may are not showing there, and some
Right.
wording or sentences is not properly structured.
Right.
So in that case, you can simply talk to the seller support that listen, these are the updates we need to do, and your Spanish listing, which is in the backend, that
Mm-hmm.
can be changed. So I
Right.
think that is not so much important for sellers to understand that language, but it is
Mm-hmm.
very easier. You'll face some challenges at the beginning, but you can eventually talk with the seller support and get it changed and get the
Right.
problem solved, right?
Right. Right. But again, if they can't get it solved by themselves, they can just contact you, right?
Yeah, we have that. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing. Right. Okay. So let's say somebody wants to expand in Europe. Okay, then they want to expand in all the markets because if I'm going there and there are a bit smaller markets than the .com, why not just expand to all of them, right? So do we need to create separate listings for each marketplace in the European Union?
No, how European marketplace works is if you want to, let's assume you want to sell in European marketplace, any of them. Okay. So
Right.
right now, the main thing is you don't have to ship to all of them separately. Okay. What Amazon is
Uh-huh.
making it very easy is you can just ship to one FBA in the Europe region, and they have their even logistics as well. And that distributes evenly on whatever they think that orders may come on greater orders, then they
Mm-hmm.
do it. And I think that is what the main thing is. You don't need to list on all of them. uh, but you can, okay, obviously, but the shipping is very easier right now. Okay, the FBA,
Right.
because you don't have to ship to different FBA warehouses, they kind of manages it for you. So I
Right.
think
Right.
that is what helps the sellers a lot.
Right, right. So, just to understand the legal side of it, so do we need to pay taxes in each country in the European Union, let's say?
Yeah, so VAT sometimes may be a little bit complex because you have to
Hmm.
pay. So for that, obviously, I'm not a legal expert and my team
Right.
doesn't deal on that. But Amazon have the service provider network where they provide
Hmm.
VAT compliances as one service, and
Right,
that
right.
is not very expensive. I think they can really help on this to get this completely resolved.
Right. So what we understand is that we have to pay taxes in all the marketplaces, and the main difference that we found while expanding to Germany or other marketplaces is that sometimes you have to add the price into the for the taxes as well. So, for example, you
Mhm.
might be able to sell it cheaper,
Okay.
but when you understand that you have to pay taxes at the end of the year, you have to get those VAT from the margins as well, and that
Mhm.
oftentimes, new sellers are not able to
Yeah.
understand it that much, or they're not able to have the vision of, let's say, 1 year ahead when they have to actually pay taxes as well, right? So that is something that we have as a precaution for all sellers going into things, saying, hey, you might think your margins are good, but you're gonna have to have your margins with and without VAT so that you are able to get exactly where you are, and you
Mhm.
have to pay sales tax as well, right? Okay.
Okay.
So one more thing that we have to see is if we want to expand to European markets right now, do I need to have a company in Europe or do I just need the US company?
Uh, no, what I think is you need to get a VAT, and while getting that, so you need to. I'm not sure about the exact structure on it,
Mm-hmm.
but I think a legal company can describe you on this. But Amazon global support team is really supportive on this part.
Right.
What happened with us is when we expanded, when we, let's say, for a client, we expanded to
Mm-hmm.
Amazon.com.
Mm-hmm.
Then in that case, they didn't require a special setup in US. They
Right.
complete took that charge, and only the setup that was in India was working there.
Oh,
So only if what I think is the VAT needs to be registered, and
right.
rest I think it will be taken care.
Right, right. So Amazon, I think I had a meeting with one of the Amazon reps from global selling team as well, and they
Mhm.
had the very similar answer on this one as well, saying, "Hey, for 99% of the sellers, you're not gonna need to have anything pretty much. You can just start selling with global selling, and then you can register with the tax, any tax company. We have the again, as you mentioned, the service provider network, and that seems
Yeah.
to be very helpful as well. Okay, so we've gone through how to launch on other marketplaces. let's go back to something that is very important in terms of advertising. So, how do you expand advertising, and how do you cater the different keywords and in different languages? How would you cater that?
Yeah. So generally speaking, when you start advertising, first of all, you can start with the normal keywords that we're working. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, what we do is first make sure the listing is optimized so that it indexes for those keywords. So you get the option. Let's assume you are selling in .com, okay,
Right,
and .com has a huge Spanish-speaking people that want to buy products. So
right.
in that region, where you can put those keywords, those Spanish keywords, what we
Mm-hmm.
generally prefer doing is in the alt text. That is a huge space that we get for all those images. You can put
Right.
there, okay. But also the generic keywords part or the search term field, okay, that is also a field where you can put, but generally we don't use that. We generally put misspellings there, and we keep
Mm-hmm.
on changing that over a period when we are indexed already.
Right.
But all text is a position where I think that you can put those keywords, and let's assume you're ranking for those and that is converting for you, okay,
Mm-hmm.
then you can start with that. And in order to get you to know that which other language keywords can convert, I
Mm-hmm.
think automatic campaigns can be the only option right now that can tell you, because you are already running, let's assume exact match, broad match, phrase match, that will only,
Right.
and you are running with the keywords that are already proven, which is not in that particular language.
Mm-hmm.
So I think automatic campaigns can give you idea of that. Otherwise, you can also do a reverse ASI lookup of your other competitors and find out what are the relevant keywords by comparing.
Right.
Okay, this is a keyword where minimum three of the competitors are ranked for. Okay,
Right.
then you can figure out the relevancy and use that keyword.
Right, right, right. Okay, that seems like a very neat trick to find out all the competitors and which keywords they're using to drive their sales. And okay, so one question about the marketplaces. Let's say if I'm a business owner in the United States and I seem to have a nice thing going for in the Amazon FBA for me. Okay, which marketplaces should I expand next, and what should be the thought process in finding the best marketplace to expand second, third, fourth?
Yeah. So obviously .com is the best, right? But it is
Right,
also the most competitive.
right.
Next comes what I think is European marketplace are the good .co.uk. Let's assume go for UK. UK
Mm-hmm.
is the second largest after. But if I tell you about traffic, first
Uh-huh.
comes .com, then comes Japan. Okay, that
Oh,
was something really exciting. Japan has the
right.
second highest traffic,
Uh-huh.
then followed by I think India, then followed by UK. Okay, UK, or I
Mm-hmm.
think UK comes in the fifth. Okay, they don't have that much of a traffic, but still the
Right.
customer quality is really good in UK. So the
Mm-hmm.
next market after .com, if you're not thinking of Japan, would be, because Japan, the price range that you can select is not same as UK, because the
Mm-hmm.
price range in .com is very high, right?
Right.
But the same thing is not in Japan, but that is the same thing in UK. So I think UK would be the second most favorable market to expand,
Right.
and the
UK would be the
Germany
next.
obviously that is really good.
Right, right, right. Okay, so I have a few questions that I have to ask you, and that is for
Yeah.
myself, but hopefully the audience will also get some benefit as well. What exactly is Amazon India in terms of, if you had to explain it to someone who's only sold in the Amazon USA, how would you explain the market in Amazon India?
Okay. So Amazon India, the market, it is good. Okay, it is
Hmm.
good. There are a lot of population, so a lot of
Right.
sales are there. But one thing is the customer quality is a lot more different from .com. Okay, so
Hmm.
that means obviously if you're selling premium products with high
Right.
price range, then your customer quality is really good. But when you
Hmm.
drops in prices, if I give you example, 1000 rupees, okay,
Right.
1000 rupees, that would be equivalent to I think $8, $8 or $10, 10 to
Please do,
$12, I
please
guess.
do explain Indian rupees, because the audience that is Pakistani, they're gonna will confuse this as
Okay,
well.
so Pakistani, so Indian, if it
No,
is 1000 rupees in India, it should
right.
be probably 2000 to 2200 rupees
Yeah.
in Pakistan.
Right.
So that is around 12 to $15 in US. Okay.
Right.
So that is the point where we can think if the price goes below that, the customer quality drops a lot. So when the customer quality drops, you can expect a lot of returns. And the
Uh-huh.
returns, the products that you get back,
Right.
90% of them are non-sellable. So there are some losses that you need to incur.
Right.
Obviously, there's option you need to go completely premium with high branding so that customer quality increases. Your avatar, the targeting needs to be completely different.
Right.
After all, the market is good, competition is not that much high.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can enter that. Okay, that is
Right.
a quick overview, I think.
That is a quick overview. Let's try to get an idea of what would be a return percentage that you would expect for a brand that is selling premium product. Let's say, what would be a return percentage that you would expect?
That is a trick question because what happens is we can tell you numbers on tacos and ACOS, but
Right.
returns, that is a little bit different, right? We can tell you returns on ads, but it completely
Right.
depends on the goal of the brands because sometimes the brands may focus on more outreach, that they
Mm-hmm.
want to get more eyeballs to their brands because they
Right.
might be having some more product line that they want to launch. And
Right.
let's
Right.
assume when it comes to Q4, a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
think that Q4 is a high traffic season, so everyone might be getting a lot more profit margins and all. But what happens is in general, the ROI in Q4 decreases. Overall sales increases, but the percentage in ROI decreases because you have to give a lot of discounts and all.
Right.
Obviously, all those kinds of things happens. So ROI, I don't think I would have a proper answer for this, but
Mm-hmm.
tacos, I can tell you that number, right? If you're
Right.
expecting, because I'm an advertiser, I can give you
Uh-huh.
numbers in tacos. So we have
Right.
seen clients. If I give you example of that client who is doing $3 million, their tacos is
Uh-huh.
around 5.4%. We have another
Oh.
client who was selling in US plus UK. Their
Right.
tacos in US is around 6 to 7%, I guess. Okay.
Oh,
So
that's very nice
generally,
tacos,
when
by
the
the way.
product is launched, yeah, that's a good tacos, and
Right.
they're going really big now in brands. Okay, brand
Right.
ads.
Right. Okay. So we have an answer on the Amazon India as well, because actually we are looking to expand one of our clients into
Mhm.
Amazon India, and we're looking to see if direct distribution is the answer to this, because at the end of the day we are deciding if it's worth the effort, because at the end of the day it's going to take someone to have a look at the Amazon Indian market and be aware of all the complications in terms of sales taxes and the
Yeah.
competition as well. And as you pointed out earlier as well, that the price point is something that is very different for even similar kind of products. So for example, the
Mhm.
things that we are selling for $100 in Amazon USA, people are selling it for $30. Even 40 is
Exactly.
common. 30 is like, hey, you're just pushing it right now there. So those things change with each market, and Amazon in India is no different. It's different for, let's say, Amazon Turkey. We are looking to expand into that. Europe is pretty much similar. One question that just popped into my head was that, so you just explained Q4. Now the thing is, in since majority traffic is Amazon.com, and then the bigger markets are still Western markets.
Yeah.
Now, does Q4 work the same way in India as well? Because you
Yeah.
don't have
So
Christmas, you
in
don't have gifting
India,
season.
yeah. So in India, we call it as Great India Sale. Okay. It
Right.
starts almost same.
Uh-huh.
So in India, we have this puja vacations and all,
Oh,
and which
right,
are the
right,
main
right.
seasons. So the
Right.
season starts kind of same. Okay, it goes till the sales hike will be there till January. I mean December
Right.
end. So it also started since October, and it
Oh,
will continue till December end and January first week. So it is kind
right.
of same.
It's kind of similar. Right, right, right. Yeah, I was just curious about it because, as you mentioned Q4, I was thinking, okay, I mean, there's a gifting season over there. And I was working with a few colleagues from India as well. And since we are trying to expand into that market, so yeah, they were very busy and, they were not looking available at all. I think she hung up on me for 15 days. And when I asked her
Okay.
about it, she said, we were just off and I couldn't reply to your email before leaving office. But I guess that's okay, right? Okay. So we have gone on to all the questions that we had in terms of expansion into smaller marketplaces. Now, I'm going to have some questions for you that are going to be very important for a certain part of our audience, which is
Mhm.
majority agency owners. So I have a lot of friends who have a lot of questions, and I recently just had a webinar as well, and I'll
Okay.
talk to you about setting up a workshop on this part
Mhm.
as well. But let's have a few questions about that. You mentioned before the interview that you have a virtual team. Now, this is a topic of contention among me and my friends who own agencies in the space, right?
Yeah.
So, should we hire local or should we hire in office and should we hire virtual? What is the thought process behind it? Because someone who has a
Yeah.
visual team, they just like visual, and other way around as well.
Yeah, this is the same topic I was talking with one of my, I mean, my co-founder yesterday night about, because we are facing some issues with communication with one or two of our team members, which is
Right,
normal because sometimes when they're working from home, some things may come up and they might go for 15, 20, or 1 hour. Like,
right,
that thing may happen. But again, the thing comes that will you get the kind of skilled people in your region?
right,
Okay, and maybe that is a question to answer, because we will not. Okay, because we are hiring from Pakistan, we are hiring from Philippines, India, all over
right.
the India. And those talents I don't think we would get if we just hire locally.
Where are you based in India?
We are based in Kolkata.
Kolkata. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
a. I mean, yeah, I'm sure everyone in my audience will know about it. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's a very interesting way to look at it because communication is the main part. At the end of the day. So, for example, we have a hybrid team. Majority of our team is in the office, and then we have some team members, majority females, that are not able to come into the office because we work in the US time zone.
Mhm.
That's basically night shift for over
Yeah.
here in Pakistan, India, and the females are not able to, travel as freely as they would.
Mhm.
So the only thing that I have an issue with is that the learning part really drags in terms of, for example, let's say at I think last year we had an office that was in the day timings over here. All of the team members could come into the office, and we are based in Lahore, Pakistan. That is basically the hub for majority Amazon FBA space in Pakistan. So we have the talent over here.
Mhm.
But the only thing that I had was that, hey, when they're in the office, I'm able to teach, and the team and the leads are able to take charge with things, and they're able to learn things much faster. But the moment they went from in office to work from home, that was that things that were already taught in terms of competence, in terms of all the skill sets, they're doing good. Overall, they're able
Yeah.
to perform their job, and I'm happy with them. But looking in terms of, let's say, hey, would my team be more skilled? Because I want them to have a lot of skill sets. At the end of the day, even if they don't work with me, I would want them to have a good career. And in order for them to do that, they're going to need a lot of skill sets. For example, let's say we just had a workshop yesterday last night on chat gpt and how to use it for our marketing, and on how to use it
Are
for
you using
Amazon.
that? Because we have started to use that. It
Really?
is really
Yeah.
fun.
It's really fun. That's the main thing, right? So for example, it took me like 10 minutes to write a sales page. Okay. I was helping a friend of mine and with the sales page, and it took me 10 minutes. You just have to
Yeah.
give good command, and you just have to know stuff. Hey, I think I said write a Russell Brunson styled sales page for this company which sells this, but he's trying to expand into this. And that's pretty much it. So it's a really good tool. If anyone who does not know about it, it's a really good tool. It's the first tool in history to get to 1 million users in 5 days. That's for sure. And that speaks to it, right?
Yeah.
So those things I'm able to teach to the ones who are in the office, or my team leads are able to teach it and expand on things, on how we make decision making and how we build the systems. For example, let's say, hey, we have a system for bid
Mhm.
management, we have a system for placement management. Now I'm able to give them a video saying 30 minutes, see this video, and do this like this. Okay, they'll be able to do it. They'll be able to do their job. Good enough for them. But I just think longer run, it doesn't expand their skill sets as good. What is your thought on this? I know I rambled quite a bit.
No, I think you are quite. I mean, I would 100% agree on it that having a physical team, the environment builds up itself, because
Right,
if you are working virtually, the questions that you may have in your mind, it kinds of sticks in your mind, right? You have to wait to get it answered. But let's assume you were working simultaneously in the same space. You can just stand up and ask the question, and it will get answered. Also, the learning curve becomes really short when we work in a same space. I mean, we are trying to expand and get one office and get it settled also, because of these challenges, obviously. And
right,
your insight today, just for fast forward to make our decision. Okay, so that is what we are thinking, and I would 100% agree on you that yes, getting a team in our office is really important, because the way you can teach them. Now my
Right.
co-founder teaches them on, we generally, when we hire, try with interns first. We teach them on a 2 months
Right.
training, then we start to hand over them some responsibility under the team leads.
Right.
And when we take our intern, we try to give them all sorts of tasks, like to
Right.
just check which task fits them. They may be
Right.
not interested in sales, they may be
Yeah.
more interested in, let's assume, building the copy of the listing or the
Right.
ads or
Right.
learning new things. Maybe they can help us in the content, or posting something that requires a good amount of, let's assume, humorous nature. So all these things we can test out while this training period. But I would 100% agree with you on this part, that having a office culture is really important to grow much more faster.
Right. Right. Okay. I guess when you build an office, to send me a picture of it as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, we built an office, I think a year back, and in 4 months I was like sick of it. And then yeah, so because I was the one managing it, or at least I was hiring people to manage it, and then
Yeah,
it just took a toll on me. And then we had to shift to a co-working space. So that is a really nice option if you're looking to get an office. See if you have any good co-working spaces. They really take a lot of things off your mind if you are actually building an office. Or because I didn't think it was that big of a task, but I guess decorating the office is a really difficult job, because I can do it. That's for sure. I mean, I had to
yeah.
ask my sister. She's working in fashion right now, and I had to ask her to help us in the office decoration, or building that vibe, that culture
Yeah,
that wants you to work at the end of the day, right? Okay, so thank you so much for getting on the interview and answering all the questions. And I'm sure we're gonna have a workshop with you as well. I'm gonna work with my marketing team on to see how 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 we can build this out, and how we can market it
yep,
to each person, because we have a team of we have a good network of virtual assistants and people who are working as brand managers in brands, and they are looking to provide value to their clients. And I think this is really helpful if you can build a workshop on how to expand into it, and maybe we can have a live screen, and maybe we can do it live as well.
yeah.